if Matt Canada does not produce and continue to have it looking more and more like I was at the end of the season where we were definitely arrow pointed up, yeah, he is on thin ice. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. And depending on how optimistic you are about him, is ultimately going to have that stance of where you stand right now. If you think that he's going to be gone, you probably aren't optimistic that he's going to be able to just continue to grow and have Kenny expand and have this offense expanding. If you think he can, then you're going to be like, you know what, this dude's probably going to be here for the next year and probably a year after that. You know what I mean? Until something different happens. But right now, based on how he finished the season, yeah, I don't just think it's a foregone conclusion that this is his last year. Nah, but I do feel like this is no different than what it was the second half of the season. If he didn't perform the way that he did in the second half of the season, would Canada be on this squad right now? Would he be the coach? Nah. But because he did down that second half of the season, that's ultimately giving him a little bit more of this leeway, this grace right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much as simple as if we don't improve, continue to improve, and offense. It's weird to say because, honestly, if the offense does the same as what we did in the second half of last year, we probably will have success.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be, again, the gaudy numbers and the gaudy stats that everybody's wanting, but I could still win games. I want to see improvement from that still at least.
I do too, yeah.
And just winning games, playing good complementary football. And I don't think Canada has much of an excuse this year.
Correct.
You got your full first year under Kenny. Now he's going into his second year. You guys have that relationship. But also now the weapons. We had an Allen Robinson. You have Pickens and Deontay, Najee Harris, Jalen Moore, and a rebuilt offensive line.
Yep.
No excuses, though. No excuses.
Yeah, because the thing is this, man. Matt Canada has been gaining experience. That was the knock when he first came into the league, right? Never has been an OC at the NFL level. So you kind of give him that first year. All right, cool. We know it wasn't the most ideal situation. All right, cool. We talk about last year and the start of it versus how it ended and all of the moving parts. All right, cool. Well, now we're into this third go of this thing. Those excuses go out the window now. I don't want to hear about you being new anymore because you're not new anymore. I don't want to hear about personnel anymore because we feel like we have a nice, strong group of young talent here. When you're looking at the wide receiver room, you're looking at our running back room, when you're looking at our offensive line, and we're looking at our quarterback. So with that, you expect just natural progress, natural evolution. If what we were seeing at the end of the season last year, yes, it was a little bit, it didn't have that explosive element, but it was productive. That's cool in year one or year two, but man, we expect more now. It's no different when you have a child growing up or if you're at a job. You know, when you first come in, your role might be one thing, but it better be evolving. You better be growing in that space. So that way, you know, we know that you're improving. We know that you're worthwhile. Otherwise, what is the purpose? So for Matt Canada, the stuff that was acceptable last year, man, we're not going to be going for that again this year. Nah, we expect it to improve. And if it doesn't, as we say all the time, it's a performance-based league. That goes for the coaches as well as these players. If this offense does not score enough and they are not explosive like we think they are capable of being, then yeah, the coaching staff, they're going to make some changes. Yeah, they ain't going to just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And we've seen that already. This is what, 3 different coordinators in how many years right now? You went from Haley, Fiechner to Matt Canada. You see, they're not just spending a ton of time just sticking with a guy just because they want to stick with him. Like, nah. Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. You know, America's top rated sports booking app. And why are they America's top rated sports booking app? Because they are safe, they are secure, and just like my friend Deke, they are reliable, baby. Okay? And we got a pretty dope deal going on right now with DraftKings. When you first sign up, you download that app and you like, man, I'm ready to hop into this thing. I'm ready to spend a little money and get the chance to make a little money. The thing that I would encourage you to do is to use the promo code option, because if you do and you type in the word MOATS when you make your first bet of $5 or a minimum of $5, you'll receive up to $200 in draft deposit bonus money, meaning they're going to give you free money to go ahead and get a chance to make more money. It's a pretty dope concept. I mean, and when you're talking about some of the opportunities that you have, where there's futures, we know the draft is coming up. We done heard TG talking about who going number 1 overall. You gonna get a chance to tap into all of that with DraftKings, man. So shout them out, baby. You heard it. But Deke, we also know at times people can struggle with this, with gambling,
right?
With the chance of making more money. Sometimes it's a little bit too overwhelming. Sometimes you might just say you got a problem, a gambling problem. You might need some crisis counseling. You might even need some referral services. If you're located in New York, it's a number right there for you to call or text. But for everybody else, the number to dial is 1-800-GAMBLER.